right? As a matter of fact, let's grab this. This second Ezra chapter 9. Verse 10, right? This is on the other side. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain. So it behoove us, to live clean in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, abstaining from, this life. Of course, you have to do things in this life, and there's a balance to everything, but not being stained by the ways of America, by the ways of the wicked. All right. And to not do that, you have to be strong in constitution. We have to have boundaries. And our boundaries come through serving, all right, understanding, and thereby fearing and serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So it says, wherefore now manfully changing this life, I will shew myself such as one as my age requireth, and leave a notable example to such as be young, to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. They that led him, changing the good will they bear him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speeches proceeded as a thought from a desperate mind. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned. Right? So he pretty much shitted on him in so many words. They thought they was lending a helping hand, but he like, man, fuck that. I'm not doing it. It's not happening. So they said, all right, bet. They pretty much turned. They now count him as an enemy because he didn't want to go after the ways of the heathen. Right? This is what it was. Jake, as always, has been taskmasters, to destroy other Jake. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto the Lord that have the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten, but in soul am well content to suffer these things, because I fear him. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation. And this is why we read about him today. Okay? As a matter of fact, there was something that I saw. Well, I've seen this man before, right?
So if you're out there and you single, you looking for somebody.
All right, man. Fucking always that. All right, it's something that I saw. Let me see. Because this guy, though he reps Islam, he makes a lot of very potent points. So I'm going to just, let me see. I know it's around this area. I think it's 520, around that area. Yeah. Because this, coming back into our heritage, I know the elder brother Zahab always goes into that spirit wind Levi, coming back into our heritage and, coming back into the ways of the East. This is a mindset of ours. So let me jump to, all right, let's get it.
There was no martial or commercial dimension to their motives. In fact, there are so many things in Islam that we cannot engage in because even if they're lucrative, they're immoral. So unlike the West, we forego the profitable in favor of the moral and the ethical, whereas they forego the moral and the ethical in favor of the profitable. They're immoral. So unlike the West, we forego the profitable in favor of the moral and the ethical, whereas they forego the moral and the ethical in favor of the profitable. It's complete. They're immoral. So unlike the West, we forego because even if they're lucrative, they're immoral. So unlike the West, we forego the profitable in favor of the moral and the ethical, whereas they forego the moral and the ethical in favor of the profitable. It's completely different. The whole ethos of Islam, the character of Islam, is service. We literally think of ourselves as slaves. We serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We serve our families. We serve our communities. We serve our nation, our ummah, and we serve broader humanity. We neither have a sense of deprivation nor entitlement. We were taught that the best wealth is contentment, not that contentment is found in wealth. We understand and we accept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ar-razaq, entitlement. We were taught that the best wealth is contentment, not that contentment is found in wealth, entitlement. We were taught that the best wealth is contentment, not in our ummah. We serve our families, we serve our communities, we serve our nation, our ummah, and we serve broader humanity. We neither have a sense of deprivation nor entitlement. We were taught that the best wealth is contentment, not that contentment is found in wealth. We understand.
Right. So, again, excluding the Islam part, it's a mindset of the East, to have a compass or to have a constitution, a way of life around your morals and not around profitability, around your family and not for self. Okay? That's where our contentment lies. And there was a point that he mentioned of how when you go into let me see. All right, let me jump to this part because this is a pretty good part too. And like I said, excluding the Islam part because we are Hebrew Israelites and we are of no shape and form, all right, Islamic.
It's gratefulness and it's satisfaction before we even came out of the womb. And that's not fatalism. It's contentment, it's gratefulness, and it's satisfaction. You know how they talk about the so-called scarcity mindset and the abundance mindset? Well, we have neither. We have an assured mindset. We have the assurance that our provision has already been fixed for us. So we never have to compromise. We never have to humiliate ourselves for money. We never have to sell out. We never have to exploit or manipulate or cheat or pillage or subjugate other people just to get material resources. And we know that it's the same for our children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written their provision as well. So you don't see Muslims avoiding having children because they're afraid of how much it's going to cost. And again, look what these contrasting attitudes have wrought for their respective peoples.
Yeah, so he was cooking. Don't get me wrong, but the point I wanted to grasp, or I wanted, you brothers to grasp, a few sisters, whoever may come across this lesson, is that the point of contentment will lead us into eternal life. Okay? The point of contentment, or the point of constitution. All right, I don't know if, did we go into contentment? Let me see. It says the quality of state of being contented. All right. We go into contented. It says feeling or showing satisfaction with one's possessions, status, or situation. And a staple precept that we always go into is Sirach chapter 2, verse. Let me jump to the point. Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Not if, but when. Whereas we may be at a lower estate now, we're going to be at a lower estate. All right. Nevertheless, being content, because as we brought out before in Hebrews the 12th chapter, right? The Most High chastises us for our benefit. All right. So that we at the end of the day, all right, can be meet to be called his sons. As it is also written, what son is it that the Father chasteneth not? All right. And that's how gold is tried. As it is also written, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in a furnace of adversity. Right? So you have high caliber, precious metal if you go through that gold. As a matter of fact, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Verse 12. Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest. For the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. And the fire shall try every man's work, all right, every man's mindset, every man's constitution, of what sort it is. If any... Oh, that was pretty much the point on that. And we know through Yahushua, it says, was that Matthew 11 and 29? Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest for your souls. Right? We shall find contentment for our souls. This is Proverbs 14 and 30. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. And that's what you get if your mind is of this world, as it is also written in Romans 8, right? That the carnal mind is death and the spiritual mind is life and peace. So now we ended off here in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 3. And they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. All right. And that's the unforeseen dialogue that's going to be happening at the hour of the elect's temptation. As a matter of fact, let me start at verse 3, because at verse Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, it speaks on how the wicked had a mindset, and the righteous mindset, or the mindset of the righteous, it rubbed the wicked the wrong way. So it's going to come a point in time that the wicked will torture the righteous, or attempt to torture some of the righteous. All right. Again, as we went into that story in 2nd Ezra 6, you know, you had Eleazar, the priest Eleazar, you know, his boys being the wicked, in that example, trying to get him to go another way. But when they knew that he wasn't going for it, they put him to death with no remorse. So that's what they're going to do with some of the elect. Remember what Revelation 20 says, which the elder apostle Tahar always goes into, Revelation 20 and 14. Some shall be beheaded for the witness of Yahushua. But it says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. All right. Did not Yahweh promise us in Hebrews 12 that is for our benefit? For God proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace have he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. And in their time of visitation they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over them, and their God and their Lord shall reign forever. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he have care for his elect. And with that, Lord willing, you Akim were edified. Shalom to the elect.